and never forget, America needs to remain vigilant, especially in the fight against radical Islamic terror. But because this threat around the globe and right here in our homeland is growing. According to the FBI, there are ISIS-related cases now in all 50 states. That includes 1,000 active investigations in this country alone. Now, since 2014, over 105 people have been charged under federal law in ISIS-related cases. 7 of those have been convicted. And in the same time frame, there have been 30 ISIS-linked plots to attack this country. Here with reaction, the author of Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. If we have a president and a presidential candidate that can't say radical Islam, and we got Chattanooga, and we've got Fort Hood, and we've got San Bernardino, and we got Orlando, and we've got Belgium, and we got Sweden, and we got Paris, and Paris, and Paris, and Germany, and all over the world, have we learned anything? Have we gone back to what the 9/11 Commission report said is they were at war with us, we're not at war with them? I don't think you can be at war with somebody if you can't identify them.
You're absolutely right. As Sun Tzu said, you have to know yourself, you have to know the enemy if you want to win your war. Americans today, Sean, the sad fact is, are in greater danger than they were the day before September the 11th, 2001. You've given the statistics. ISIS cases in every state. We have just recently arrested the 110th ISIS supporter in America, in Roanoke, Virginia. If you look at the facts on the ground, it's the same everywhere. The NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center, which works for President Obama's Director of National Intelligence, just briefed him and said there are ISIS affiliates today in 18 nations around the world. 2 years ago, it was 7, Sean. It is now more than double that. The threat has increased.
Let's say that we're right, and I pray to God we're wrong, that we have a pre-9/11 mindset. Let's say it's the aftermath, and the next 9/11 Commission comes together. Are they going to talk about misidentifying Fort Hood, euphemisms, man-caused disasters, overseas contingencies, workplace violence? Are they going to mention giving $150 billion to the #1 state sponsor of terror? Are they going to mention precipitously pulling out of Iraq and not following through in Syria and creating a vacuum for ISIS to emerge? Are they going to mention all those things? In other words, can I write the story ahead of time that we set the stage for our own next big attack that kills thousands?
I think, Sean, that's only going to happen. We're only going to grasp the nettle of reality if we have men with backbone, if we have leaders, if we have men and women, politicians who have a spine, because it takes that to defeat your enemy. In World War II, it was the same. Under President Reagan during the Cold War, we spoke truthfully about the enemy. We called them evil, and we saw them as a totalitarian threat. Well, guess what? The jihadis are just the same. Whether you're a communist or a fascist, you are an existential threat to America.
And it is evil.
It's the same with the jihadis.
This is evil. Radical Islamic terrorism is evil in our time. ISIS is evil. Radical Islamists are evil. Why is it so hard for them to say that?
Because they don't believe in objective truth. They're post-secular modernists. They believe in cultural relativism. All cultures are equal except America's, which is worse than everybody else. That's the thing, Sean.
Yeah.
We remember the apology tour, right?
A good point. A very good. Well, he'll talk about the terrible deeds in the name of Christ. He does do that.
Oh, which happened when? Which happened when?
Well, he was talking about the Crusades, which were Christians fighting for lands that were taken by radical Islamists of their time.
Right.
So.
But we're talking about Islamic terrorism now. People being crucified, burnt alive as we speak, and beheaded. Yeah.
All right. And by the way, women being tortured and oppressed,
enslaved,
gays and lesbians being killed. Hillary takes money from those countries. Christians and Jews persecuted.